Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Insider. We are going to be switching our updates up a little bit, and we will be starting with our infrastructure updates. Chronic, would you like to give some updates now?
Yeah, happy Monday, everybody. So actually, there isn't a lot to update this week. So we've been monitoring the blockchain since the halving has happened, and mining difficulty seems to be a little choppy at the moment. So we're seeing a sawtooth pattern happening, and when the difficulty really spikes, we do see some higher block intervals. For instance, yesterday we had a period of 1 hour without blocks. So I'm hoping that this will stabilize over the next weeks as all of the miners adjust to the new reward schedule. That's it from infrastructure.
Thank you, Chronic. Okay, so hello, everyone. Let's continue now with Jonathan to give us the growth updates.
I think I'm back, Angie, if you can hear me.
There you go. We can hear you, Luca. Go ahead with the engineering updates.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll just introduce Alberto as usual. He's here with me. Sorry for the technical issues today. Alberto, do you want to start with the proving system today?
Oh yeah, sure, Luca. Okay, let's start with the proving system that is one of the more active parts currently. So, okay, last week, as you probably remember, we announced that our research demonstrated a huge performance improvement on the recursive proof composition timings. I mean, very shortly, I think it's worth repeating just the main elements. So we have been working on this proving system with an accumulation and deferred validation scheme that allowed to significantly cut some of the most expensive operations that were needed in the intermediate proofs. And moreover, we have also significantly improved many parts of the prover by moving their execution on GPU. And in particular, for example, we are talking about multiscalar multiplication. And the other thing that we have seen is that the current proving system we are using doesn't need a trusted setup at all. So this just to recap what we said last week about the improvements that we saw for the proving system. Okay, so given that, we started having additional meetings and workshops, and with the goal of identifying in detail what are the changes that are needed in the implementation, in the proving system implementation. The goal is to identify the code changes that are needed. And for example, in this first phase, we are seeing, for example, one of the consequences of this discussion is how we are going to restructure the intermediate proof. So, for example, to carry on the needed accumulators and all the data that is needed, and how we will modify the proof verifier and the prover to manage these additional elements accordingly. So we're going to change the proof structure, we're going to change the prover to produce this data and the verifier to verify this data, and moreover, we are also going to change taking in consideration these additional fields even in the secret when we are going the merge of the proofs in the above level. So, as you can imagine, this quite complex, and so we will have several of these iterations to be sure to have everything clear from the coding perspective, and so we will be able to start working on the changes on the proving system. Okay, and just another interesting part related to the proving system and also to the circuit. It seems that we have found another efficient way to verify if a set of an unordered set of transitions lead to a continuous set of transitions. Probably this sounds totally meaningless, but I mean, just to summarize this seems to open other possibility in how we are going to structure the circuits for managing multiple types of transactions. So what I mean, if we have a core transaction, I mean, a set of core transactions in a block, but also a set of custom transactions in the block that are doing something, let me say, custom, how we're going to manage this in the circuit, how we can prove them in an efficient way, and this homogeneous set of transactions, and then how to say, consider them as a unique transition. So it seems that we found a good way for managing them and saving, let me say, a lot of constraints and to keep them in order, and then verifying if they are contiguous in the sense of transitions. Okay, let's switch to the circuit. Okay, you remember that we were working on the design of this customizable way of having these transaction secrets. So we finalized the design of it in a way that would allow easier customization, and so now people can start work on the implementation. I mean, all the at least the basic information that are needed are already defined and also detailed in a document. Okay, then switching to Zendoo and to the certificate quality. First level of code review was completed. Some changes were requested, and they're finishing to be applied today. The final code review was started already. Probably you remember with the acceptance of memory pool implementation. Some changes were also requested, and now they are already being performed. So the next final code review is going to start tomorrow, and is going to finish in the next days. And so then we will consider certificate quality complete. Regarding the seed sidechain withdrawals, obviously we are also moving on with other parts of Zendoo in parallel, and so we already started, let's say, the design of the changes. I mean, in terms of implementation, what is needed to implement for the seed sidechain withdrawal. So what is needed to provide, I mean, to the verifier of a seed sidechain withdrawal request in mention. What are the needed inputs? How do we construct them on a main chain node to be able to give all the possible elements to the prover to really prove that you were the owner of that coins in the sidechain. So we had to find a way for structuring the inputs in a way that all the possible kind of sidechains would have had the possibility to prove that you have the right to withdraw that coins, even if the sidechain is seized. I mean, it sounds a little bit magical, but I mean, it's possible. And so we went through these details. We had, let me say, this discussion. Then after this meeting, we already had a design document, and so currently, guys already started working on it, and so the implementation is proceeding. And I think that's it for the Zendu part and for the main updates for today. So back to you, Luca.
Thank you, and great updates as usual. Actually, back to Angie.
Thank you, guys. Let's continue now with Jonathan to give us the growth updates.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. So we're working on updating the DeFi page this week. We're updating the Sphere page this week again. We made a lot of changes and we use a translation software, and we're just making sure that that software is translating everything on the page. As we have changed numerous parts of the site, there are some parts that are not being translated, and so we're doing a full audit to make sure that everything is being captured. A couple small tasks, adding Genesis custody, for example, to the web page, updating some exchanges, and reviewing the main menu in all of the pages to make sure it's up to date and perfect. That's it for ZBF this week. Just a bunch of small maintenance tasks and a couple of web dev tasks. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gustavo. Is there anything you would like to add on the UX side?
Not today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you. Let's continue now with Lucy to give us the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday and short updates from marketing. So first of all, start with the developer community growth as usual. So we had 1.19 increase in our early adopter program enrollment, which is still much higher than its average weekly growth, and 2.87% increase on HDE user signups. So that brings our total development growth to 0.51%. And then also we will be announcing a new sidechain partnership this week. It's another company building a dedicated blockchain on Horizen. So very, very exciting news. So please stay tuned. As we are now at the tail end of the year, we are entering the holiday season, as we all know. So we will the team will also be on our holiday schedule. So the next 2 weekly Insider will be canceled along with the quarterly live stream. But we will release a comprehensive annual report to conclude all the major achievements in the year of 2020. So the past year hasn't always been easy, and then the entire team has been working really hard, and we worked through some very difficult times, but I really think that we are ending the year at a very strong note, and then we think that as a team and also our community would like to we think everyone should take it slow a bit over the holidays to really enjoy some relaxing time, and we will be keeping the critical and prioritized activities going forward from now until the end of the year, and we want to really recharge and make sure that we get fully ready for the next year of 2021, and then we want to hit next year hard, and then have a really refreshed start. And lastly, our store is running a 15% off store-wide discount this month. So make sure you place your order as soon as possible if you want your order to arrive before Christmas. That's it from me. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Lucy. Now let's welcome Dean for the BD and operations updates.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, today we have a lot of interesting updates for you. And first off will be Vano on the integrations. Vano?
Thanks, Dean. Hello, everyone. So today we are announcing a new exchange listing for Zen. Just several hours ago, PKX Global, an exchange from Chengdu, southwest of China, listed Zen USDT spot trading pair. PKX is a fairly large exchange, ranking in top 100 according to CoinMarketCap by volume and liquidity. It improves our presence in China, really. It is also great to see a lot of activity in this market and area, and it really shows the fruitful results from the work of our Chinese representative, Guan. So grabbing the opportunity to thank him as well. Passing it to Kaspers now.
Hi, everybody. So as usually, last week was productive for the BD team. We participated in the Paris Blockchain Week Summit, which took place online together with other team members. So the BD team during this event was able to make fairly good new connections and generate new leads. So altogether, we were able to gather information on over 20 participants that we will use to explore partnership opportunities in the upcoming weeks. Other than that, last week we signed another MOU with a partner that will work with us both on the Zen integration side and also on sidechains on Horizen. About this week, we have scheduled 7 calls, and alongside that, we'll continue working on the existing leads. And really excited and looking forward to the PR announcement from the marketing team this week about our earlier MOU and sidechain partner. That's it for now for me. Back to you, Angie. Thanks.
Thanks, Kaspers. Yeah, back to you, Angie.
Awesome. Great updates. Thank you, guys. Now let's continue with Rosario for product and engineering.
Well, hi, guys. So I just wanted to remind everyone from Alberto's comment. So Zendu and the Proving system will be part of our first delivery for 2021. And we're still working on refining timelines. And once we have those, we'll be publishing that officially. But it's really exciting to hear that we are further refining all the tasks for the Proving system for this first delivery of 2021. Okay, so from that perspective, we because this is going to be one of our first deliveries and it's going to be on the main chain portion, it will require an external code review or code audit, more to say. And we are starting that process, RFQ process, and we'll inform you once we've selected a company that will perform that RFQ. But this is a big deal. So this will be our second code audit that we do on our chain. And the Zendu changes are fairly significant. So this will be a very important audit for us to perform. And then that'll be our production ready Zendu system. So I'm very excited for that. We typically have, just for everybody, for our viewership and community awareness, we usually have a prioritization call that happens within the tech team, and also we usually bring in marketing and growth just so we could sync up on activities for the particular month. And now that we're ending the month, it'll be for the upcoming year as well. But we will be having that through email, and right now we're just waiting for some inputs from the rest of the team, and we'll be sending that to the internal team via email, so everybody's continues being on the same page. Lucy mentioned preparation for holiday downtime. So we all know crypto doesn't sleep, and throughout the years we pushed really hard and pushed our team very hard, and we haven't stopped. But I think we all need to have a downtime plan in place. So I'll be working on that from my division perspective, so that we continue having some support, but in a reduced time perspective. From a Horizen Labs perspective, and this is just the ecosystem part of the updates, of my updates, we presented to the Celsius team our proof of concept design previously, and also let me take a step back. We presented the long-term design of what we'd like the sidechain to be able to perform, and we have interim steps on how to achieve that with a proof of concept that will be a building block for the final product. And we presented the proof of concept design with 3 milestones, and the Celsius team was very happy and amenable to the milestones. So the next step will be to work with Celsius has identified a team that we'll be working with directly, and we just have to coordinate timeframes of when we are officially starting that effort along with our team. So this project will reach back to the engineering team. So we also have to deconflict some of those resources, particularly in the proving system team. So we'll have to sequence out how that works and just make sure that we're not impacting our own Horizen specific deliverables as well. So it'll take a little bit of a effort to plan that out and coordination from with our customer perspective, partner perspective. From a game chain perspective, we continue making great strides with the game chain. And this one's really exciting, as I previously mentioned, because we are identifying products or supporting products that will be required for our final SDK. So it's like we're getting an early start on them and helping identify that development effort. So we'll likely be done with the sidechain portion of the game chain this month, and we'll be getting a head start on the libraries. So the sidechain, our game chain will require a specific JavaScript library, which will also have a general JavaScript library for the overall sidechain system as well. So that's just an example of how we're identifying these products. So that portion will be done this year. And then just for everyone's awareness, what I'm thinking for next year for this game change, the customer is going to be working on integrating the blockchain piece, which will take a little bit of effort on their end. So see the first part of Q1 or most of Q1 will be us providing a blockchain support on the game integration, and then hoping for the spring that we have community involvement in this game that will be using our sidechain system. So we'll be involving the community in this testing process. And that's it for all the updates from the Horizen Labs perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosario. Ralph, would you like to add any comments or updates?
Yeah, thanks, Angie. So I'm not going to talk about this last year. I want to focus on next year because we've got a really big opportunity. And some of this is to remind myself on how to think. And I figure if I need to remind myself about it, maybe I can pass it along. So I think what we need to recognize and change our mindset around is regarding the overall crypto market. We're no longer in a bear market. We are in a bull market. You look at Bitcoin at a new high, and a lot of people think it's going to keep going up. There's a lot of new people coming into the market. So that's an exciting time. People are going to be looking for other projects to invest their time and attention and money into. And they're going to be looking for positive, uplifting projects with a track record of success and a vision for the future. So you're going to have the opportunity to talk to a lot of new people. They're going to be asking basic questions. They might not understand what we are currently, what we're looking to do in the future. And so when people ask the questions, it might be an opportunity for you to explain some of the basics, even though it seems repetitive to people. And one of the things that I found is helpful is don't compare to other projects. Just be an expert in Horizen and say what we can do and what we will do. If you do talk about other projects, do it in a way where we talk about how we do or will do things like other projects do. Don't talk about how we're the best or other projects are bad or other comparisons. We don't need to do that. We have plenty of positivity and accomplishments within our own realm. And being within your own knowledge realm, it's okay to not answer a question or not get pulled into an argument, and try not to be a negative person in your interaction. It's easy for me sometimes to do that. Think positive. And just recognize that some people are going to just try to troll you to get a reaction. And then when you do explain, recommend keeping it simple and then getting more complex as people understand more. So lead with our strongest and unique feature, which is an open protocol to enable people to create distributed blockchain applications on top of our strong base blockchain system. And these sidechains can operate in an economically consistent way using Zen as the base monetary system. And this is done by sending Zen to and from the sidechains using a transfer system, which is unique because it's a decentralized construction created with zero-knowledge proofs by our experienced and advanced software development team. So the most important thing to remember is we don't need to do anything abnormal to ride this bull market Bitcoin wave. We just need to keep doing what we're doing, positive on all fronts, keep accomplishing things, and enjoy the next 2 years because it's going to be fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Rolf. And now let's welcome Rob for the final part in Q&A session.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you for everyone. This has been a really good last Weekly Insider of 2020. I do have some things that I wanted to share with everyone. So we are scaling down ops, as you heard Lucy mention and Rosario mention, scaling them down towards a holiday schedule. So just be cognizant of that over the next couple of weeks. We still will be around, and critical ops and development will be continuing, but we're going to be scaling down on anything that's non-essential to give the team a little bit of time off and you, the community, as well. So last week I talked about everything we've accomplished in 2020, or at least a big recap. Talked about challenges, talked about COVID, talked about price fluctuations, and I talked about our accomplishments. So I'm not going to go through all of those in detail again, but just want to refer to you guys to the last Weekly Insider if you want to go through that. But for this time, what I want to do is just kind of even higher level, just big picture, what was 2020 to us and what's 2021 going to look like? And the big thing for us, what we focused on in 2020 was, what are we building? And we were focusing on building. And what we were doing was going from a white paper concept to a design, and then from a design to a plan, and then we started building. And we delivered significant, massive amount of code that actually works in our beta product. And this is what we delivered: Zendu beta with an SDK in beta to a parallel testnet in July. It was an enormous delivery, the biggest delivery in our history, in our three plus year history. Now, what we're doing in combination with continuing on that development path is now we're focusing, or adding another layer to it, is who will use what we're building. And that's what we've been focusing on in this last quarter. And the BD updates that you're hearing, these partnerships and new integrations and so forth, these are the things that we're doing in parallel to start building out the ecosystem, answering that question, who will use what we're building? And we're doing it in parallel to the actual final building. And it's been an enormous success, actually much more of a success than we realized. We refocused our BD team, retooled them, hired, brought Caspers online. And now you've got a team that's just small, professional, and hyper-focused on exactly what I think we need to be doing, which is building out the ecosystem on the user side and the partner side, and getting people to actually start experimenting with our technology, our product, and start building in the Horizen ecosystem. So the vision here, guys, is when we actually deliver Zendu to mainnet, and we have what we're calling a de-risked plan of getting Zendu to mainnet on time, on schedule, in the completing delivery end of Q1, and then doing all the code audits and the testing and migrations from parallel testnets to mainnet. All that work's going to happen clustered around the middle of next year. But when that happens, we're going to be bringing to market all of these partnerships, all of these use cases, and a massive amount of demand for the technology that we're building right now. So we're not just taking that field of dreams approach of build it and they will come, and just hoping that cool technology is going to bring people in. Cool technology and an amazing team that's really aggressive on I don't know if you want to call it like on point, just always being able to get out there, work with partners, is attracting a lot of interest into our ecosystem. And this is huge, and it's something that's going to have a big impact in 2021. Now, of course, money markets count too, and we've had a wildly volatile year when it comes to our finances, with a nearly 80% drawdown from peak to trough on the price of Zen. And you guys who have been following these weekly insiders understand very clearly that our budget for the foundation, and therefore a major part of the ecosystem, is denominated in Zen that goes into our treasury. And when Zen takes an 80% nosedive from peak to trough, that's an 80% nosedive in our operating budget. So it's been really tough. We've had to cope with it by descoping entire functions from our operations, and unfortunately having to scale down team to do that. It's been an extremely painful process, but through grit, sheer determination, and just relentless action on our part, we've stuck with it. And we've, like Rolf said, I think the market environment has shifted. So not that I want to call any place that we are in a market cycle, because, well, let me knock on wood. It's too critical and too sensitive, right? I don't want to jinx us. But we've been able to stick with a lot of hardship. And during this entire phase, we've been able to bring in an extra $500,000 in investment capital, VC capital, into our ecosystem to fund and launch pipeline marketing, which is doing a phenomenal job on attracting or working on our user growth. There's just a lot of confidence and a lot of determination has gone into just maintaining the ship, keeping it on course in 2020. It's been a tough year, but the key takeaways that I have out of all of this is we are a team that delivers, period. That's what we do. We've assembled a fantastic group of professionals, and we're just methodically going forward on our plans and delivering. And we're doing it across the board in many dimensions right now. From tech to product to BD, it's really all cylinders operating, and we're doing a really good job. So we are delivering also technology that will change the industry. It's not years off, it's 2021 off. Right? So this is something, just take a moment, think about it over the holidays. We've been going from concept to design to building developments now for the last 2 years on this product, and we're getting ready to imminently deliver this to mainnet. So this is huge. It's something to really consider. And then the third pillar here is on the community side. And now it's time for the community to step up like they have. And we've mentioned this several times over the last few weekly insiders, but it was awesome to see the Happening Party that was completely run and operated by the community. The Horizen Community Council is starting to breathe life and come together. And I have high expectations for the coming year. So you guys, what we can make a commitment to you now is that you have a core team that will never give up, has some of the best talent in the industry, it is incredibly motivated. But in 2021, we have to have a transition year. What I want to see is a transition year where we diversify the ecosystem with all of this wave of new partnerships. We're going to keep pushing that hard, but you guys can also, reach out to anyone that you know is in the space and may want to build it, within our ecosystem. We're going to continue to build out developer interest in our ecosystem, and we're going to continue to deliver our technology. So you have businesses, investments, capital inflows, everything that sets the stage for strong foundation. For now, we need to build out community leaders, and they need to you guys need to carve out your own niches and build out this ecosystem as well with us. So 2021, I would love to see, this is the year where HCC, the Community Council, explodes. I would love us to have just a collective focus on good governance and really think deeply about what this means. This isn't just the foundation or Horizen Labs or pipeline marketing, funding projects and building things, putting together project plans. Governance really affects everything that we do. It's at the protocol level with consensus all the way to every human being that participates in our ecosystem and how we collectively come together, some decisions, allocate resources, and plan our future. So I want broader participation, and we need to decentralize this. So the vision from the beginning has always been to mature our technology and our ecosystem so that it can run itself. And we're finally getting to the point, rhetoric aside, that the technology is just about there. And now we need to think about the human elements of this, because tech is one part, and setting the rules of the game, the protocol, the code that goes into our consensus. All of this is huge. We'll have a voting system as well. There will be a big infrastructure project that we'll get to when after we deliver Zendu to mainnet. But there are other elements of this on governance that really matter. Things like the Zenit process that we started this year, and quite frankly, we need to do a better job ourselves of adhering to. But future projects should include a Zen improvement proposal before we actually get to developing and resourcing projects. And we need to think about everything else we do in terms of carving out community leadership roles so that this can really become a machine that runs itself, that's more decentralized. And then we can continue decentralizing resources and decision-making as we go. But I want 2021 to be that inflection point. And we're going to be delivering the technology that makes it possible on a really big level, on the resource allocation and decision-making level for doing things like community voting. But we need to also cultivate the soft, call it the soft, like social technologies of the people that are behind the project, the people that become community leaders, and how we contribute together, how we make decisions, and just how we achieve the human consensus that accompanies the software consensus in this ecosystem. So anyway, guys, I close off the year here by saying that we should have a lot of confidence in what we're doing without arrogance, because we're actually delivering. Just like professionals, we just deliver what we say we're going to deliver, and we've been at this for a number of years, and we're going to keep at it. So let's take stock of where we've come from, be proud of where we are, and excited for where we're going. So again, be safe over the holidays. Thank you for being part of this big adventure. It's really just getting warmed up and getting to be a lot of fun. And make sure you tell everyone about Horizen over the holidays. Perfect time, right? Talk to your friends and family. But guys, thank you for that. I'll close it out here. We can open it up to any Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. So the first question is, what would be developed first, Interfactura sidechain or Celsius proof of reserve?
So right now, the Celsius project is, from the Horizen Labs perspective, the top partnership priority. It's one that we have the design that was, like Rosario mentioned, just proposed to Celsius. It looks like we have a lot of enthusiasm on their side. So now we know what we want to build together, and we're getting started on it. So that's our top priority.
Awesome. The second question is, will Dragon Chain developers do the integration part, or will the team do it?
Yeah, so Dragon Chain is a good one because this is an example of two blockchain projects working together that both have engineering capacity. So it's not like Dragon Chain is a client of ours or we're a client of Dragon Chain's. We're coming at this equally as partners, and we're both going to bring engineering talent to the table, and we're going to be contributing to our respective parts of that project.
Great. And the last question is, when 2021 roadmap?
That's a great question. Well, that's something we'll be working on, in the very near future. So let's make a commitment to roughly middle to end of January. We're going to have a solid, mature roadmap. So the big part of that is I believe Alberto is presenting tomorrow. So that's the engineering time schedule for getting Zendu to mainnet. That's the major part of what we're doing, guys. And then we're going to be layering in the other things that are going to make 2021 exciting and successful. So soon.
Awesome. Well, those were the top 3 questions. This was our weekly insider number 70. So something to be very, very proud of. And thank you everyone for attending our weekly insider. See you all very soon to give you the latest Horizen updates. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.